Hello. Welcome back to the channel. If you've just arrived at this video and haven't seen the previous ones, I recommend starting with the very first episode, where we explain from scratch how to make the magic ring. It's really important that you understand that step clearly, because it's the foundation for all the circular crochet in this tapestry bag. Then, you can watch the second video where we go over rounds 1 to 5 in detail, step by step, with all the instructions. And of course, don't forget to check out the video right before this one, where we worked on rounds 13 and 14. In that video, we dive deeper into the rhythm of the project and how to add increases in a smooth and balanced way. If you've already watched those 3 and the concepts are clear, then you're more than ready to move on to this next stage of the project. Today we're going to work on round number 22, which includes 20 single crochets and 1 increase. We're getting close to the end of the base. Remember, the goal is to reach 32 rounds, so keep going. You're doing a great job. Don't get discouraged, and if at any point you feel stuck, take a breath, go one step back, and keep going. The key is consistency. Remember, do it yourself. Now that we're on round 22, we're going to work with 20 single crochets and 1 increase. This means we'll make 20 regular single crochets, 1 in each stitch from the previous round, and then 1 increase, that is, 2 single crochets in the same stitch. We'll repeat this pattern all the way around. It might seem simple, but this is where counting becomes key. I recommend using a stitch marker or counting out loud if that helps you keep your rhythm. Many people think tapestry crochet is complicated, but it's really about repeating sequences with patience and care. And trust me, every bit of effort is worth it. The more you progress, the better your work looks. And remember, if you feel like you made a mistake, that's okay. Undoing and redoing is part of the process. Every stitch you fix is a lesson learned. So keep going. Remember, this is a project you're making with your own hands, and that has so much value. At this point in the project, you probably already realized how powerful tapestry crochet really is. It's more than just a technique, it's a form of expression. Did you know this type of crochet has been used for centuries in indigenous cultures across South America? In countries like Bolivia, Peru, and Colombia, textiles with colorful geometric patterns were not only decorative, they told stories, represented sacred symbols, and reflected cultural identity. Today, tapestry has spread around the world and is used for bags, wall hangings, pillows, and even clothing. And the best part is that you can create your own designs simply by combining colors and yarns. So as you work on these 2 rounds, think about this: you're part of a beautiful tradition that connects generations, brings people together, and turns yarn into art. And remember, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to enjoy the process. At this point in your crochet, one of the most important things is to keep your tension even. Since we've already done several rounds, a stitch that's too loose or too tight can start to show. So keep a steady rhythm and make sure the carried threads are placed neatly inside each stitch. A tip? Every now and then, look at your work from above. That helps you see if the base is growing evenly, if the shape is staying circular, and if anything needs adjusting. Sometimes all it takes is 1 looser stitch or slightly shifting an increase to fix it. And if it doesn't look perfect, don't get frustrated. That's part of the journey. No handmade piece is exactly like another, and that's what makes every bag unique. You're the one making it, you're choosing the colors, you set the pace. Do it yourself, without fear and with heart. Let's go, you're almost done with this round. Now that we're finishing up the second round of the day, and making progress on the base, I want to share a tip that can really help you moving forward: keep a record of your rounds. It can be as simple as a checklist on paper or a notes app where you mark how many rounds you've done, how many stitches they have, and if you made any special changes. This is super useful if you need to pause your work for a few days and then come back to it. It helps avoid confusion and mistakes. Another idea that might help: take photos of your process. Not just to share on social media, but also to see your progress. When you compare your early rounds with the later ones, you'll be amazed at how much you've learned and improved your technique. So keep going, don't stop now. You're making something amazing, and the best is yet to come. Do it yourself. We're doing great, and since we've already worked several rounds, this is a good time to talk about something that can make the process a lot easier: using a round marker. If you've never used one before, don't worry, it's very simple. A stitch marker is like a small plastic clip or hook that you place right in the first stitch of each round. This helps you know exactly where a round starts and ends, especially when we're working in a spiral like with this tapestry bag. To use it, after making the first stitch of the round, place the marker through the top loop of that stitch. Then keep crocheting as usual. When you reach that marked stitch again, you know you've finished the round. Remove the marker, make the first stitch of the next round, and place it again. It's that simple, but believe me, it makes a big difference when it comes to not getting lost. You can also use a small piece of yarn in a different color if you don't have a marker. What matters is having a clear visual guide. It's like leaving breadcrumbs in the forest, you'll always know where you started. And if you're working over several sessions, the marker helps you pick up right where you left off without mistakes. Remember, there's no rush, what matters is enjoying every part of the journey. Do it yourself. Now we're going to go over a key point that many people forget, but it makes a big difference in the structure of the bag: reinforcing the base with an extra strand of yarn. Why do we do this? Simple. By adding an extra thread and crocheting it along with the main yarn, you create a much firmer base that won't lose its shape from the weight once the bag is finished and in use. This reinforcement is especially helpful if you plan to carry books, water bottles, or any heavy items. Here's how to do it: take a thin cotton or acrylic yarn, in the same or a similar color as the one you're using, and insert it into the project when starting a new round, preferably after the first few increases. You'll trap that strand inside the single crochets you're making, as if it were part of the fabric. The key is to keep it centered, not too tight, and not sticking out. You're not crocheting with it like a second yarn, you're simply wrapping it into each stitch. This creates a sort of inner double layer that reinforces the base without changing how it looks from the outside. It's a simple but powerful trick, and you'll notice the base feels much sturdier. So if you haven't tried it yet, now's the time. Your bag will thank you. A technical detail worth taking the time to explain is the offsetting of increases in each round. Many people, especially when they're learning, tend to place increases in the same spot every round. Over time, this creates a visible line, a kind of staircase or seam, that breaks the smooth, circular shape. Offsetting means shifting the position of the increases slightly in each round. How do you do that? It's easy. If in one round you make the increase after 10 single crochets, in the next round you can start with 5 single crochets, then do the increase, and continue the regular sequence from there. This keeps the increases from stacking directly on top of each other and distributes them more evenly. Not only does this improve the appearance of the fabric, but it also makes it stronger and more round. In projects like the base of a tapestry bag, where every detail matters, these small adjustments make a big difference. It also helps prevent the sides from rising too early or the base from rippling. So now you know, don't be afraid to move your increases around. Experiment, adjust, and find the rhythm that works best for you. Remember, every project is a chance to learn something new. Do it yourself, with patience and care. And we've reached the end of this video. If you've completed rounds 23 and 24, you're making wonderful progress. If you're still halfway through or haven't finished yet, that's totally fine. Pause, take your time. There's no rush here. In the next video, we'll keep expanding the base as we get closer to round 32. And if you feel ready to keep going on your own, go for it. Thank you for being here, for sharing this crochet space with me, and most of all, for having the patience to build something with your own hands. That has so much value. Always remember the phrase that guides us: do it yourself. And if this content has been helpful to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit like, and leave me a comment telling me how your bag is coming along, if you've had any difficulties, or which part you've enjoyed the most. And please, share this video with someone else who wants to learn or who could use a good dose of creativity and calm. See you in the next video. Keep on crocheting.